Hello everyone and welcome back to Prestige Reef. It is nearly 9 o'clock at night and this is not usually the best time to film a video just because I'm mentally tired, but it is day 8 and if I don't film today I might lose momentum. You get to the stage where you almost fear having a day off. See, these are all being filmed in advance, so if I took a day off here and there it wouldn't actually matter, but as I said, the momentum is what I am most worried about. Now I have been busy today. You can see I have 1, 2. It's so hard to do it backwards. This is like my nemesis whenever it comes to pointing at something, because on the camera it's backwards. Right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new fish. Technically only 6 because one of these is actually reef dorks, which I'm quarantining along with the angelfish for him, but we'll just count it for now. Now before the fish go in the system, they all get a freshwater dip, which is what I'm going to be showing you today. Freshwater dip sounds like it's something really scary for saltwater fish, but fish can easily handle a freshwater dip for 5 minutes. So, and they're actually really easy to do. You just have to be willing to hold your nerve, because sometimes they act a little bit like they aren't. I'm trying to get a better lighting, because this is why I don't film at night, because I essentially have to just use that one light for filming. If I stand, there you go. Right, so now I've lost my place. No, it's actually really easy to do, and once you've done it a couple of times, you don't really worry about it anymore at all. Now the reason you do a freshwater dip is just to knock off any parasites, flukes. Mainly flukes is the thing that gets that freshwater dips get off before they go into the system. And then after that, I have obviously all the other medication to treat them with. Right now, the setup to do a freshwater dip is incredibly simple. You need some sort of plastic container to house the fish in. You need some fresh water. Some people use tap water, which has been dechlorinated. Some people use RO water. You need a heater just to get the water up to the correct temperature, and then some sort of thermometer. Right now, where possible, what you want to do is you want to match the temperature and the pH of the fresh water to the systems that they are coming out of. And the reason for that is because just to minimize the shock. So what I've done is I've used a heater to get the temperature the same, and I actually used the pH probe on the GHL downstairs for the pH. Now, the pH of RO water will be way too low to do, so what you do is you just put a buffer solution in, mix it up, half an hour later, good to go. Now, some people will use an air stone. I don't usually use an air stone. However, I do have this rod which I use just to mix the water if required. Now, there will be far better tutorial videos on YouTube out there than this. This, as I said, is more of a vlog just to show people what I'm doing. So if you want to, if you're unsure or you're a bit nervous or this is the first time that you're doing one, there'll be a way better video out there than this. But as I said, I'm just showing you what I do. I'm just documenting what I do. And just to show you that you don't need to be as worried as you might think. So let's get started. Now I'll do these fish in batches, because by the time I had opened all of the bags, the first fish that were in there would already have been in there for 5 minutes. What I'd do is I'd open them, literally just cut the bag. Now I can assure you these are not fish approved scissors, but she won't know that until after the video has been uploaded. And I can assure you that this is not a fish approved bowl either. The reason I put them all in the bowl first is so that I can get them all out at the same time. So all of them will be getting exactly the same 5 minutes. Otherwise it'll be difficult to track which ones have been in there longer. Right, so these are the fish that are going to get the freshwater dip first. You can see I got 2 Mocha Storm clownfish. These are the ones that are for me. I also got a silver belly wrasse, and this is a geometric hawkfish. I believe it's got a different name as well, a high fin hawkfish, I think. And that one is the one which is for reef dork. Now the process is actually very simple. You literally just get the fish, which I like to do by hand so that they don't get caught in the net. And then this is when the timer starts. Now don't be surprised if at first the fish are a little bit stunned where they don't move. And that's what I have this rod for, just to give them a little nudge. It's almost like when you're falling asleep, someone just gives you a little nudge. Wrasses naturally will lie down when they're scared, so I'm not overly worried if that one lies down too much. But yeah, just to keep them active, just to make sure they are conscious. Now this might seem intimidating at first, but I can assure you I've done this many, many times, and not once have I lost a single fish. You might wonder why I use such a high container. The main reason is just purely because I used to use this for an auto top-up, and the other smaller containers I have weren't large enough to fit a heater in to warm the water up. So you can see the clownfish are acting essentially normal now. Wrasse is always difficult to judge because they will lie down anyway. And then the hawkfish is doing exactly what it always does, where it doesn't really move around that much, so I'm not overly concerned. And that's pretty much it. You can see that even though there is literally zero salt in this water, they can survive completely fine for a period of time. How this works, I believe, it essentially makes any parasites burst through osmosis. So although the fish can survive temporarily, things like flukes can't. Now every single fish that I own has been through this process, including the king eye and including the Japanese masked swallowtail. And trust me, I wouldn't be doing it to these sorts of fish if I wasn't 100% certain that 5 minutes isn't a problem for them. Right, now they've been in there 5 minutes now, so you literally just scoop them up with a net. You can see they've still got plenty of life in them. Scoop them up in a net and then put them into the salt water, and they are completely fine. Right, so the clownfish and the 2 wrasse can go there, but I think it's probably wise to put the hawkfish in a different tank because of the scarlet hawkfish. The reason I'm talking slowly is because I am currently catching the hawkfish. There you go. So I'll put the hawkfish in with the female swallowtail. Oh, and you can see, there you go, rights himself, and he is completely fine. He's actually a really, really pretty fish, and although I know Reef Talk is keeping both of them together, the female's a little bit too interested. I am a little bit concerned with regards to how the fish will act. The swallowtails are far more aggressive than they thought they would be, and then usually what happens is they do a little flick, as you can see what it's doing now, just as they acclimate themselves to the salt water, and then in a minute they'll be completely fine and just acting normally. Now I just need to repeat that process with the angelfish. So I have 3 angelfish. I have a second flame angel. This one, however, is tiny. I used to have a pair of flame angels actually for a long, long time, which I sold to a breeding facility, and they used to spawn every single night, so I thought, well, to see if I can try that again. I also have a multicolored angel, which aren't the most brightly colored angel, because obviously they're mostly white, but they have this sort of like velvet purple on their head and fins. They're an acquired taste. When you've been in the hobby for 17 years like me, you do start to like fish which are an acquired taste. Final one is a tank bred barred angelfish. These fish are literally tiny. If I pick one of them up, I can show you. Oh, no. Now just as a comparison for you can see just how tiny these fish are. Now, do I recommend you mixing dwarf angelfish? No. The tank is large enough to mix dwarf angelfish. I actually had 7 dwarf angels in a 1,000 litre tank previously, and I'm essentially trying to replicate that. Now, is there a chance that these fish will eat coral? Absolutely. Am I willing to take the risk? Yes. Is there any higher risk than with regards to the king eye? No. So this was always going to be an angelfish tank, and I realised that I don't need lots and lots of massive big angelfish. The tank, even though it's 1,000 litres almost, isn't big enough for that many large angelfish. Those fish sort of get over a foot long, whereas dwarf angels stay relatively small. And I just thought if I had a collection of those instead, technically it's still an angelfish tank, and it'll also still be interesting to see which corals these eat while giving them a little bit more room. Now there's one other thing that I want to address. There is a possibility that these fish will not get on with each other. However, you saw how small they are, so the chance of them doing serious damage is not massively high, but that doesn't mean it's zero. What I say to people during the consultations all the time, you can mix whatever fish you want. I almost got an Addis butterfly today, because I was really, really tempted, but I just think they really would be a pain with corals. So you can have whatever fish you want on the condition that you're willing to do what needs to be done if something goes wrong and those fish cannot get on with each other. Now at the moment, I don't foresee there being an issue. You saw they're literally tiny, so they're gonna have so much room to run away from each other. but as they get older, they might become more and more of a problem. But for me, that's okay because I'm happy to get them out if required. Right, now this is what the fish are like about half an hour later. So you can see there is the flame angel. We have, ooh, Copperban's eating frozen food. That's good. It's a good sign. Is the golden angel eating yet? We shall see. Can't see it at the moment, but I'll have a closer look at that in a minute. I'm also going to put some more live food in there. We have the geometric hawkfish, which is in the corner, which doesn't surprise me because the scarlet hawkfish barely moves as well. The multi-bar angelfish is in there, and then we have the clownfish and the multicolour angelfish. Now the reason there's food in there is I just wanted to see if they would even take anything. Some of them are eating, whereas most of them are just ignoring it at the moment. But that's explainable. They've literally just come out of a shop in a bag to go to a completely new home, get put in fresh water, and then get put into a tank where they don't know anything. So I'm not overly surprised they aren't eating. Although there you go, I think the multicolour just took something then, so that is a very good sign, because some of these dwarf angels can be a little bit temperamental. Yeah, actually she looks like she's going to be a good eater, so that's very, very good. Getting them feeding properly before quarantine is absolutely essential. Now the only medication at the moment they're getting is Metroplex, but soon I will be starting the copper treatment. Now I'm going to be doing that very, very slowly because some fish don't like copper, and angelfish are some of those fish that don't like copper. So I'm going to be ramping up very slowly, seeing how they all react, and obviously if required I will lower it back down. Seeing the copper banding like this is actually really, really good because this one's been a little bit temperamental, but it's just starting to learn properly that frozen food is actual food. Now some of you will be wondering why I'm buying so many fish in such quick succession, and that is because I am tired of quarantining fish. Now if I quarantine one fish or I quarantine 100 fish, obviously I can't quarantine 100 fish, but if I quarantine one fish or 100 fish all in one go, is the same amount of effort. And also it means we'll be able to speed up the process with regards to filling the water box, because that's the end goal of this, to turn the water box into the stunning tank that it should be. I hope you enjoyed watching my video. Please feel free to comment below if you have any questions. If you did enjoy it, why not click that like and subscribe button? You can see that 8 days is starting to take its toll on me. So it makes a massive difference to me if I see that the videos are doing better than usual. So yeah, if you can subscribe, brilliant. If you can like, great. And I'll see you tomorrow.